When you think of Parkinson's, what comes to mind? The tremor, right? But did you know that Parkinson's can show up years before those classic symptoms and in ways that you'd never expect? Well, today we're going to talk about the early non-motor signs of Parkinson's that are often overlooked. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel. Hope you enjoy it. And we're going to talk a lot about Parkinson's, give you some tips and tricks and some things that I've learned along the way. And hopefully we can learn together, grow together, and deal with it better. So, what are the non-motor symptoms? Okay, non-motor symptoms are signs of Parkinson's that don't involve movement. And these can include changes in your mood, your sleep, and even digestion. In fact, these symptoms often appear long before tremors or stiffness, and they're crucial for early detection. If you've been diagnosed, you can think backwards. And when you were diagnosed, think back to when you first, why did you go to the doctor? Why did you want to get checked? Usually it was because of the stiffness. Usually it was because of the tremors. But if you think back before the stiffness and before those tremors or before those early signs, whatever they might have been, you might pick up some of these. You might have said, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, like for like 4 or 5 years, I've had issues with this, or 4 or 5 years, I couldn't do that. So here are some of the most common non-motor symptoms to watch for. Number one, the loss of smell. This is often one of the first signs. Imagine not being able to smell your favorite coffee or your favorite flower, and that can appear years before diagnosis. Now, remember, I said everybody with Parkinson's is different. And fortunately for me, I didn't lose my sense of smell. I haven't lost my sense of smell. I still have it today. I mean, and for the most part, that's a good thing. For sometimes I wish I couldn't smell things. But anyway, that's just me. On the flip side, one of the things that I've suffered with now today, as well as before diagnosis, is sleep disturbance. REM sleep behavior disorder. It's where you act out your dreams. It's strongly linked to Parkinson's. So if you or a loved one is having vivid physical dreams, it's worth paying attention to. And when I say vivid dreams, they're a lot different than just being, oh man, I had this wild dream and I felt part of it. I literally some mornings woke up where I'm still in that dream. I might be having my coffee and talking to my wife or talking to somebody else uh, and them having this regular conversation. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a funny story. I had this whole conversation for about 35 minutes after I woke up with my wife, and she was talking about the day and everything we had to do that day. And and then I said, she said, so we better get going. And I said, okay, no problem. I said, I'll tell you what, you go ahead and get dressed and ready, and I'll go and hitch the horses, and I'll get Shorty to bring them around front for us so we can get out of these mountains. And she was like, what? And so she had no idea. I was still in my, it was so vivid, it was so real. And that's what I mean by that. Not a hallucination, but just a vivid, real dream. All right, here is another one, and this one is really important. So it's mood changes. They include anxiety, depression, apathy. They're all early signs that many overlook, and these are start emotional. They're physical symptoms of changes that are happening within your brain. After I was diagnosed, I realized I was depressed. I thought I was depressed and down because of the diagnosis. I realized that as I look at my life and I look backwards, you know before I was diagnosed, I was feeling down. I was feeling depressed. I was losing my appetite for adventure. I was starting to feel very apathetic towards the world and my hope and my future, and I didn't even know why. And now I do. But rest assured, that doesn't have to be that way. You can have as much full adventure as possible with Parkinson's as you could without it. So don't be dismayed. All right. Well, I hope you're getting something out of this so far. And if you are, please subscribe. You know what? Let's just learn together and grow together so that we can deal with this better. Again, we're talking about these non-motor symptoms that usually can go overlooked. And the reason they go overlooked is because they're so similar to other things. Like anybody can have mood. A lot of people are depressed, a lot of people have anxiety, and it doesn't mean it's Parkinson's. Another one just like that, though, is constipation. And again, that might sound unrelated, but digestive issues like constipation are a significant early clue. You connect those clues. You just keep looking for clues all the time. You connect those clues to, constipation plus the loss of smell, plus maybe some depression or apathy. You keep adding these things up, and they're actually start leading you down this pathway to saying, maybe I should get this looked into, or maybe I should ask my doctor to look at Parkinson's. And why is that important? Why is that so important? I'll tell you why it's important, because recognizing these symptoms early is critical. The sooner Parkinson's is diagnosed, the sooner you can start taking steps to manage it, slow its progression, and improve the quality of your life. So if you or someone you love is experiencing these kind of signs, don't ignore them. Just talk to your doctor. It can make all the difference. I said what earlier, and I'll say it again, that the symptom that got me to say, "Oh my gosh, I need to go talk to my doctor," was when this twitching it was actually my pinky in this hand, my right hand, started shaking, and I'm like, "What is going on here? What is happening?" And I've got a long story about my diagnosis. I've actually got a video on it, and you can actually check it out. I'll actually put it up at the end of the video, and you can click on it and watch it. I encourage you to watch it. It's you know what? It's just my story, and we all have a story. There's nothing different or better about mine. I mean, it could be different, but there's nothing better, there's nothing special about it, but we all have a story. But often you hear other people's stories and then you can kind of relate to them and say, it's not just me, or it wasn't just me that had issues. Took 3 years for diagnosis and 8 different doctors, or not, three different neurologists before someone finally told me what I needed to know, and that it was Parkinson's. And so I encourage you to check that out. And, but if you or someone you love is experiencing these signs, again, don't ignore them. You got to talk to a doctor, and it can make all the difference. It really can, and I promise you it can. Parkinson's is more than tremors, and understanding these early signs can save time and they can improve outcomes. Now, I hope you found this important. I hope you found this valuable. I really do. And if you did, please like it, share it, subscribe, and let's do this journey again, like I said. And it helps spread awareness, and it can make all the difference in someone's life. So if you know somebody who's struggling, or somebody who has some of the things I was talking about and is just frustrated, doesn't know what to do, maybe suggest that they ask their doctor about Parkinson's. Maybe just check it out. And don't, you always have to fight for yourselves. It's not just an old person's disease. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're male. It doesn't matter if you're female. Parkinson's affects anybody. It can affect anybody. So I encourage you to check it out. Now, if you have Parkinson's, or your loved one has Parkinson's, join me on this journey. I'm going to share the tips and tricks and things I've learned along the way. I've been diagnosed for over 14 years now, and I've learned a few things. I don't know everything, but I've learned a few things, and I'm happy to share them as much as I can with you, and whatnot. But in the comments below, I'd love you to leave a comment. Did you experience anything? Did you experience one of these symptoms? Did you experience something different? I'd love to chat about and start a conversation about it. So do that. Do me a favor, put those in the comments, and just keep watching. And you know what? I'm going to put some videos up here. Here's that one I was talking about my diagnosis. If you want to hear about my diagnosis and the struggles I had, click on that one. And here's another one you might like. But I enjoy you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.